There's one, decent one. Guys, I'm finally on a decent fish. What is going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of All Mouth Bassing. Today in this box I've got what is supposed to be a PLUSINNO Eagle Hunting 5 rod reel combo. It's a telescopic combo, so made for like traveling and whatnot. And my plan today is to do a little unboxing, try to catch some bass with it, and then do a review with it. I might not get it all done today, but that's the plan for the video. I'm out at the Pueblo Reservoir for today, and I'm gonna get out and hopefully get on maybe some smallies, largies, spotted bass, maybe even a wiper, but basically gonna be targeting bass because it is a bass combo, and that's the general plan. So don't have too much more to say about it. Gonna get to it and start unboxing. All right, guys, let's open up this box and see what we're dealing with here. I will leave a link in the description for this combo, for their website, and I'll also leave a 20% discount code in the description. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and look out for that. And one thing I do want to say is that this company didn't give me any requirements at all as far as this review goes. They didn't ask me to do a good review or anything like that. They seem to have some pretty good integrity. And you know, there was no kind of like bribery or anything like that. They did send me the combo for free, but they told me to give an honest review. So I like that about them. The only thing they wanted me to mention specifically was that this company does target mostly amateur and casual anglers. So that's really the only specific thing they even asked me to say. So anyway, let's go ahead and open these up and see what we're dealing with. Got PLUSINNO fishing rod. I will say right off the bat, this seems pretty tiny and lightweight, so that's pretty awesome. The reel looks like it might be pretty big. I think it might be a 3000 size. It's either a 2000 or 3000. All right, looking at the reel right out of the box, it looks pretty decent. I'm gonna have to get it put together and everything and test the action of it, but it doesn't look too bad. See what the rod looks like. Oh cool, it comes with like a little carrying case sleeve type deal. Decent. All right, let's open this thing up and see what we're dealing with. All right, I got the rod opened up. I will say it took a little playing with to get the guides and everything all lined up, but once you mess with it for a sec, seems pretty decent, pretty sturdy. I haven't obviously hooked up with anything on it yet, so I can't really speak for how it's gonna handle, but on a first impression, I'd say everything looks pretty decent. I'm gonna get it all put together, throw some line on it, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, I've got this combo put together now, and it's a foreign company, so the measurements aren't in US measurements, but it is a 2.1 meter medium fast action rod, which comes to just under 7 foot. And the rod feels nice and sturdy, feels like a pretty solid construction. I like what I'm seeing so far of it. The reel seating feels pretty sturdy. There's these two nice little metal washers with a little rubber washer in between that fasten right up tight to the reel. Seems like it should stay in place pretty well as far as I could tell. And the reel itself is a 3000 size, 5:1 gear ratio, and that also feels like a pretty sturdy construction. Seems pretty smooth and everything, and I'd say for the price range, this combo seems just about on par with how it should seem. So I'm happy with what I see so far. I'm gonna go ahead, get it spooled up, get down to the water, and really put it to the test. All right, guys, I'm down by the water now. I've got this reel spooled up with some 10-pound mono, and I'm rigged up with a 5-inch weighted wacky rig. It's the color watermelon red. I've been having some really good luck with weighted wacky rigs lately, so I'm just gonna throw some high confidence baits today, some baits that I think I'll be able to get bit on, because I just wanna test out this combo and see what I think of it. So there's some nice little weed mats here, some nice sticks, and just some decent cover. I'm gonna toss this around here for a minute and see if I could get on something. It's actually a pretty smooth casting reel. Pretty impressed with that first cast, honestly. And I like this little handle. The handle's got a nice, I don't know what to call it, but it's a real nice rubber material. Well guys, that first spot wasn't really it, so I decided to move on. There's a lot of pleasure boaters out today, so I went like a half mile in and there's still a bunch of boats out here, so guess I'm just not really gonna get away from that. But anyway, I'm gonna get this wacky rig back out there and see what I could do. I'm actually really impressed by how smooth this thing casts for a spinning reel. I don't know why I keep doing this lately, guys, but every time I hook up with a fish lately and the camera's running, I forget about it and cut my camera. But anyway, I've got a fish on. Looks like maybe a small smallie. Maybe like a 1 pounder. Oh yeah, about a little 1 pound smallie. Decent first one to test her out. Not really gonna put it to the real test or anything, but I'll take it. Finally got on one at least. All right guys, it's not quite the tank we're after. I definitely exaggerated a little bit earlier when I said I thought it was around a pound, because this one's definitely like a half pound at best. But anyway, like I said, not the tank we're after, but I'll take it for a first catch. Let's get it back in the water. There it goes. Okay guys, I decided to rig up a smoke pearl colored fat grub. I think it's by Lost Creek. I've got it on a 16th ounce chartreuse ball head jig. I'm gonna toss this around. It should look quite a bit like a shad or a small bait fish, and I'm hoping one eats. I'm on one with the grub, guys. Not a big one or anything, but looks like maybe a largie. Oh yeah, a little largie, about the same size as the first bass. Maybe a tiny bit smaller even. Okay, it doesn't have any size to it or anything, but nice healthy little largie. Let's get it back in the water. Awesome. Glad it bit. It's been pretty slow today. I just threw the grub around here for quite a while without any luck. I think I'm actually going to switch back to the weighted wacky rig and try my luck with that down here. Okay guys, I've got another watermelon red weighted wacky rig tied on here. I'm going to toss this out and hopefully I could get a bite on this. On something pretty decent, guys. Not that decent. Not too bad though. Best of the day so far. All right, guys. Decent little smallie, just a little bit better than that first one. Not too bad at all. definitely happy this thing bit. Okay guys, it's the next day and I'm back out with the PLUSINNO combo. I'm actually starting out today at a different spot than I planned to. I was gonna go to a little pond out of town, but the forecast there changed quite a bit since last night and it got kind of nasty this morning out there, so I decided to stay kind of more local, at least to start the day. I'm gonna throw around here for a bit. If I have some pretty good luck, I might stick around here. If I don't, I might end up going over to the other spot because it's supposed to clear up a little bit out there later on. So we'll see what happens, but starting out, I've got the same watermelon red 5-inch weighted wacky rig I ended the day with yesterday. I'm gonna toss this around a little bit and hopefully get on one. There's loads of bait fish out here, so that's a good sign at least. Well guys, I fished that lake for a little over an hour and I didn't even get a single bite, but this area I'm at actually has access to 2 lakes and the river. So I'm out by the river right now. I'm gonna take a few casts right here and see what I could get into. I've actually caught some pretty nice bass over here, so you never really know. There's one, decent one. All right, about as big as the biggest one we caught yesterday. I'll take it. All right guys, clearly not the rod bender we're after, but probably the second biggest bass we caught on the video so far, so I'll take it. Let's get back in the water. Cool. I'm not really planning on fishing the river too long, but since I got a pretty quick hook up there, I think I'll toss this wacky worm back out there and see if I can get another bite. On another one in the river, guys. Another smallie. About the same size, looks like. Maybe a tiny bit bigger even. About exactly the same size, actually, I'd say. Might not be anything big yet, but I'm glad I came down to the river. That's 2 smallies in like less than 15 minutes. Whoa, okay. That was a crazy takeoff. Well, I've been fishing the river for quite a while now, and I haven't got any more bites since that last smallie. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pack it up and drive over to that other lake that I mentioned to you guys earlier, and hopefully get on some bigger bass over there. Well, it's actually another day later, guys, and I managed to make a little bit of time after work. I'm actually back out at the same lake that I started the day at yesterday, and I'm gonna start off today throwing a downsized wacky rig. This is a weighted 3-inch watermelon red wacky rig, and hopefully this is the ticket tonight. I'm gonna throw it around for a little while, but if I don't have any luck after a little bit, I probably will switch off to something else because I'm sick of doing crappie. I've been getting skunked or catching dinks last like several times I've been out. It's getting a little frustrating. So hopefully things go a little better tonight. We'll see. Well guys, it's been another really rough night of fishing, but I decided to walk over to the river and I tied on one more bait. I've got this 3-inch chartreuse fat grub tied on. I'm gonna at least try throwing this around a little bit more before I give up. Well, that grub jig lasted about 10 minutes before I lost it to a snag, so I switched back off to a weighted wacky rig. I've got a 5-inch green pumpkin chartreuse on. Gonna try tossing this around, hoping that this chartreuse tip is enough to draw a little bit of attention. Thinking I might be able to get this bit. Oh my god, and there was a terrifying spider next to my head. Jesus. Ugh. I hate spiders. But anyway, let's get this out there. Guys, I'm finally on a decent fish. Looks like a RI, largy or small, I can't tell yet. All right. Decent little largy, it looks like. Not too bad, guys. I will take it after all that struggle. Green pumpkin chartreuse, 5-inch wacky rig, finally got me a decent one on the old PLUSINNO combo. That was a struggle, guys. Took me so long. It's probably only maybe a pound and a half at best, but pulled a little bit of drag. Actually showed me what this rod could do a little bit. I'll take it. All right, guys, y'all really don't even understand how excited I am to have caught this decent little largie. Let's get it back in the water now. So stoked. All right, taking right off. That's what we like to see. I probably won't stick around here too crazy much longer, but I don't want to give up on the only decent bite I've got on in the last few days, so I'm gonna go ahead and send this wacky worm back out there and see if I can maybe get on another one. I'm on another nice one, guys. I'm glad I stuck around for a sec. I think it's a tiny bit smaller than the last one, but it's decent. Oh yeah, not bad at all. It's actually right around, maybe even a little bigger. It's a real nice smallie. Hell yeah, actually spotted bass. But hell yeah, guys, I will take it. All right, that is pretty awesome, guys. I went from having a real struggle of a weekend to coming out here tonight, and I was still struggling tonight, but then I got on these two pretty nice bass right on top of each other. I'm pretty sure this one is a spotted bass. It could be a smallie with a real white belly, but I'm pretty sure it's just a spotted bass without much of a lateral line. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up and get it back in the water now. There goes. All right, guys, so tight. All right, the wacky rig finally pulled through for me. Got me a few decent fish on the old PLUSINNO combo. I think I'm pretty happy with that now, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, and I'll see you on the outro. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching another episode, and thank you so much for sticking around till the end. Before I get into this review, I just want to reiterate that these combos are targeted towards more amateur and casual anglers, and also that in doing this review, I'll be basically comparing it to other combos in the kind of $40 to $50 price range, so also keep that in mind. And also, the first thing I want to mention about it in this review is that I've seen a couple other reviews that mention the balance of the rod isn't great, and I really don't think it's too bad, because I mean, y'all could see it's balancing pretty well right there, and I didn't really get uncomfortable at all with it. I probably logged about, I'd say maybe 25 hours with this rod already, because it was a real struggle to get on some decent fish with it. So I logged quite a few hours with it already, and I can pretty confidently say everything I'm going to say about it. So first of all, the different sections of it actually stay in place pretty well as long as you pull them out pretty well before you start. Everything stays pretty tight on it without having to be readjusted too crazy often, But some small negative comments I'll make is there's some weird little things on it that make it feel kind of cheap. There's like just some loose things that seem like they could be glued down potentially, and also this bottom piece, it's a hollow handle here, and this bottom piece unscrews, and I would almost rather see it kind of like glued on there or some other solution. But those are very minor things, not very major at all. The other very small negative comment I wanted to make is that the rod tip is a little more flexible than a lot of bass anglers might be used to, but it's not weak or anything. It handles hook sets fine, and it's actually extremely sensitive, surprisingly sensitive, which is actually really awesome. Aside from that, the reel I think is great. It casts really smooth, the handles real smooth, everything turns correctly, nothing makes strange noises or anything like that. The drag is perfectly good. Everything compared to any other $40, $50, $60 combo I've thrown is right on par with what it should be as far as the reel goes, no doubt, and the rod holds up just fine too. Everything about it I thought was pretty good. I would pay for this in a heartbeat, and I have no problem recommending it to other people. I would say, based on everything I've seen of it so far, I would probably give it, I'd say like a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's a really solid combo. Honestly, personally, I prefer 1 or 2 piece setups to telescopic ones, but that's more of a personal preference thing. Aside from that, I mean, mainly just the weird little things that I said felt kind of cheap about it, that I wasn't too crazy about it. I mean, the color scheme is slightly dated. It doesn't really look incredibly modern, which to me isn't that big of a deal, but some people that would bother. But I mean, the portability of it is great. It compacts down to the size of the handle, which is awesome. The reel seating is great, which I actually forgot to mention earlier in this review, but the reel seating, I think I actually mentioned it earlier in the video, but it's 2 nice little metal washers with a rubber one in between, and they fasten up real nice and tight to the reel. I like that a lot. And yeah, just overall, I think it's a pretty good combo, and I might even use it for future videos, to be honest. So again, I could definitely recommend this, and I will be leaving a link to the combo itself with a discount code in the description of this video. So if you guys are interested in it, go ahead, check that out, and maybe go ahead and buy a combo yourselves. But anyway, that's about enough of that. I'm gonna shut up. I'll see you guys on the next one, and I'll see you on the water.